This is the reason why you don't achieve lift in your experiments. And I'm going to explain this in a harsh, realistic way so that you understand it. And I'm specifically talking to my regular viewers who usually see my videos and explanations about this topic of anti gravity. I mean, we have been doing the energies together for almost 3 years now. And to be honest with you, for me, myself, I didn't want to post my experiments on YouTube till some of you, my viewers, asked me to give the proof that supports my claims about this topic. But as you know, we eventually done the experiments, and now I'm here to tell some of my viewers why they're still stuck on this thing. So the first reason why you don't achieve this levity effect is your mindset on this concept. And I mean this truly, because how in the world do you even expect the positive results if your mindset is set negatively? Like if you don't believe the schematics, if you don't believe the analysis, if you have a lot of skepticism, a lot of negativities regarding this topic, it is not gonna be able. You're not gonna be able to do it. And to give you the best example of this is on my schematics actually. I gave my schematics to some of the people, some of my subscribers who asked me to give them the schematics. I did it, and some of them did it, and some of them didn't. The ones who achieved it were like six people. Six people achieved this effect. They were able to create this platform the same as I have today, and they replicated perfectly, and they performed well. And there was also another group with a lot of skepticism about this platform. Even though they got the schematics, they didn't really be able to replicate it. They were focusing a lot on the components, saying that the components really are rare or like it's complicated to make, things like that. So this example here shows you that this is more about the mindset that you have about a platform. So if you don't really believe it, if you don't really trust the platform, if you don't really trust that the platform really works, how in the world do you expect it to perform, or how do you expect to get the positive results? Because in your mind you already have the same like mindset. You already think that it's impossible to make such a platform revitate or such platform give a big effect. So this is one of the reasons why you got to change your mindset if you really want to achieve these things. And this is how these scientific experiments work, especially on these anti-gravity concepts. You gotta have the positive mindsets when it comes to this, because if not, you will never get anywhere in these experiments. I'm telling you this. So you gotta first try to be positive. You gotta try to first change your mindset into criticizing something, just to find the reason why it's not true, to find the reason why it doesn't work. And really, like, you gotta change your mindset to positivity. Like, how can I make it work? How can I do it? Instead of, can it really work, or is it just a, uh, you know, doesn't work, or things like that? You got to change your mindset on this concept. This is the first reason. And also the second reason is how you perceive anti-gravity. Like, some people think it's just creating a force that pushes against gravity. So that's false, because this has to do a lot with the concept that we have been talking about for, I think, almost 3 years now. So we have been doing analysis about the concept of conductivity. And it's not just about me, it's not me, KDM, who's talking about these things, because we have other, like, almost like three or four scientists who I remember called this conductivity thing. And we also got Autistic Carr, who said in his own words that two rotating and counter-rotating charged bodies involve a rift. So this concept of conductivity is so important. This is the first reason why my platform works. This is the first reason why the SEG works. This is the first reason why Autistic Car's platform works. So the core concept of anti-gravity, if you are dealing with this thing, you gotta include the conductivity part, because this is the most important thing when it comes to this anti-gravity effects. This concept is one of the topics that I am planning to talk about in my next videos. I want to talk about how these other platforms work, not just mine, but these other platforms which has moving parts. So I want to talk about exactly how they use this concept of conductivity, and I am pretty sure that you guys will like that video. I will explain it a lot, and you will understand it. It is way different from my platform, because even though my platform uses conductivity, on their platform it's different because their platform has moving parts. So mine is different because we don't use the moving parts, we just use charge. So the third reason why you haven't really achieved the anti-gravity effect yet is using the existing calculations. I think you have ever heard of this Newton's, all this action, reaction kind of stuff, all these theories that they use. You gotta go beyond that. You gotta go beyond that because it's just those are the numbers, those are the calculations, equations that they set to limit your understanding. And this is why I tell my viewers most of the time that you got to learn everything from experiments. The effect that you see, you got to record it. The effect that you get on your platform, you got to record it. Anything that you see with your experiments, that's real. But if you use the only just the analysis, it's not gonna get you anywhere. I told you about this from the beginning. I always told you about this. Like you gotta carry out your own experiments to make sure that the analysis that I'm giving you, another person is giving you, is correct. For example, if my KDM Revity device is able to lift like a stone, I am pretty sure that if I increase power, if I increase energy, it is actually going to be able to lift even a bigger size because I have a proof, I have an evidence that it can do it because it was able to lift a small object. So you got to learn everything from experiments, not just books. You got to learn from experiments. Anything that you see, record it and keep it. So the fourth reason is frequency discordance. So I'm pretty sure that you have seen people like John Hodgson in their experiments, they really care about frequencies so much. And that is how they were able to get these kind of effects where you can revitate like the whole cup, you can revitate water. And even on my platform too, I use this method of tuning on the right frequency. When it's the right frequency, I see the effect. When it's not the right frequency, the object doesn't move. So if you have my platform and you don't see the effect, the problem might be your terrible frequency arrangement. And the fifth reason is using the wrong materials. And I'm going to talk specifically to the people that have given the schematics of my platform. Please use the materials which are listed on the schematics. Don't try to use your own types, your own values. Please use the ones which are written on the circuits. Don't try to use your own schematics. Don't try to use your own components. So do me a favor and use the same materials which are listed in the same components and the same values which are listed on the schematics, or otherwise you are going to face some problems with your platform, whether through the effects or your components might burn out. So you gotta be careful with these things. And that may be also the reason why some of my viewers didn't achieve this because I think like some of them use the wrong materials. They tried to use their own components and it ended up like being like that and they didn't see the effect and now they are blaming me. So please use the same components as I listed in the schematics and don't try to use your own components. Don't try to use your own values, and it's going to give the best effect. I promise you that. So, these are the five reasons why you are not able to achieve the anti gravity effect. It is not because you are not the right person to do it, it's not because you are not the right person to achieve it. It has to do with your mindset, it has to do with how you think of anti gravity, it has to do with whether you think of conductivity or not. It has to do with using the current modern calculations when it comes to anti-gravity, which really don't matter. And you also have to take seriously the frequency. You gotta try to learn how to control it, how to measure it so that it doesn't mess you up. And also the final one, which we talked about, is using the wrong materials. To anybody who has the schematics, you gotta use the same schema. You gotta use the same components. You gotta use the same values that I gave you. If it's the MOSFET, you gotta use the same values that it has in the schematics. If it's the volume, like you gotta try to use the same value that it has. If you change anything and your schematics don't really work, or if you change anything and your platform don't really give any effect, please don't blame my platform. Don't blame my schematics because it will be your fault.